Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Boxingwords.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record. My job, I know my job, I know my situation. I want to
Production.
But it's gonna be very for both of us.
Boxingwords.com.
Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Two attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss. Two to stand over.
Turn up.
Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
And I'm in. Boxingwords.com.
Yo, what's up, everybody out there in the TBV universe? I know what you're thinking. What the fuck is Michael doing leading the show? Nestor is out handling some business, you know what I'm saying? He's at a dinner with some people that are very influential in the sport of boxing. So he said, Mike, Ron, Akan, you guys want to take care of business? I said, of course, man. Why not? We always do this shit when you're not around. But it is fight week. We have Shawn Porter versus Yordenis Ugas on Saturday. Also on that card is going to be a FA on the card. Francisco Santana. We have a DAZN card with Dmitry Bivol and Joe Smith Jr. My guy Maurice Hooker and Mikhail Lespierre are on that card. That's supposed to be some kind of sleeper fight, so looking forward to that. Callum Johnson and Shawn Manningham is also on that card. And tomorrow, Friday, we have the return of the beast from the east, Anthony Yarde. He returns tomorrow, Friday, at Royal Albert Hall or some shit like that over in the UK. Daniel Dubois is on that card. Liam Williams is on that card. We got some very, very interesting news from Paulie Malignaggi with his future and what he will be doing, but we'll break that down later on. Also, Teofimo and Shakur Stevenson land on the Crawford Khan card, which is a big deal. I think those two young talents are some of the best young talents in the sport of boxing. And also, we have Keith Thurman going to be in attendance this weekend. He says he wants his WBC title back. So we'll see if we get in the ring, if there is any kind of confrontation with Shawn Porter or Ugas or whoever the winner is with Keith Thurman. But I know I'm long-winded. I will pass it on to my guys. So if you listen, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. But Ron G, what's going on?
Boxingwords.com.
I've been doing this. I ain't been up and fell off. I've been through the Lennox Lewis era, the Nassim Hamed era, the Sugar Shane Moses era, the Oscar De La Hoya era, Mark Antonio Guerrero. I've been through all the eras, and I still been here.
I'm going to talk. You do too much talk. The thing is this.
People want their subjective preference to be the objective reality.
HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about Boxingwords.com.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to my boy Sleepy Mike. We definitely got the show rolling. But yeah, from that point on, we definitely have an interesting weekend. The return of Shawn Porter, maybe in the toughest fight on paper in the welterweight division. This dude Shawn Porter definitely didn't get a tune-up after a Danny Garcia fight. He's definitely in a tough one. But from that point, we're definitely going to see F.A. Ajagba get his step-up fight, in addition to Dmitry Bivol, Joe Smith Jr. Really going to see what this dude Bivol is really about. But in addition to that, I know everyone on the internet is probably looking at this Paulie Malignaggi news. I got it in my email. I was looking at it, and the first thing I thought was, oh, cool. I got another commentary gig. Then I turned, and I looked at it again and went, wait. Competing in a bare knuckle. Whoa. So Paulie Malignaggi has been queuing up some sort of return the other day on the Showtime Boxing Twitter, but now we know it is bare knuckle boxing. But in addition to that, we've also got tons and tons of news that we're going to break. In addition to Danny Garcia and Adrian Granados, they're going to be fighting now in California. I had little tips and from other people. But we'll go into all those news. I'm gonna pass the ball on to my boy Akan. What's up?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? It's like 22-1 in the UK. Yeah, Nez has been saying that us UK hosts, we never attend the the main shows of the week. So I had to make an appearance today. There's a lot to discuss. A lot of boxing on this weekend. A lot of UK fighters in action. A lot of American fighters in action too. Looking forward to the FA Ajagba fight. Yarde, Dubois, they're all in action as well. So yeah, let's get into it, guys.
Before we get into it, I got some pre-rolls that I got to do. If you're listening right now on YouTube, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. Next week, we will be in Dallas, March 15th. We're going down Border Wars, and we will be at Fight Week. So if you see us, say what's up. Tomorrow, we have the betting show on Patreon. So if you want to sign up and win some money, go ahead and head over to the patreon.com/theboxingvoice and sign up there. Also, head over to theboxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors. Click on that Amazon link. Bookmark that link, say that link, and do all your shopping through that link. It costs you nothing. Also, we have a Showtime hyperlink over there that you can sign up with and get your first month free and $7.99 a month after that. So go ahead and sign up, get your first month free. We got boxing, we got a lot of great Showtime original series, and also the final, the Zone. Look in the description box. Use that link. Sign up to the Zone. It costs you nothing for the first month. Every month after that is $9.99. You get Matchroom, Golden Boy, and World Boxing Super Series. So if you're a boxing fan, that's a great price. Ron G, let's go ahead and start, man. I want to start with you. What do you think about the Porter and Ugas fight?
So yes, USA Fox, this is on Friday or Saturday? I think Saturday. Saturday 9th, March 2019 is going to be Shawn Porter defending his WBC World Welterweight title against Yordenis Ugas. Look, I said it in the beginning of my intro. I definitely don't think this is a fight that Shawn Porter should take lightly. If many people have seen Ugas' previous fights, this dude is a great Cuban boxer. He suffered some early losses early in his career, but from that point, he went on to knock out Ray Robinson and had a couple good performances beyond that. And lingering behind his amateur background, he's been, someone who's fought, I think, Errol Spence or Crawford, or I can't remember exactly. I'll go pull it up, but he's fought a humongous amount of people in his amateur backgrounds and has some good amateur wins. So this is definitely going to be Shawn Porter's tough fight to let us know where he fits in the 147 division.
Do you guys think that his you guys' CV or his resume, is credible enough to make it so to essentially convince people that this is going to be a tough fight for Shawn Porter?
Let's stay off the resume thing. Let's just look at what we see.
No, but what I mean is, what I mean by that is, I'm not saying.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not fought anyone like credible, but I'm just saying, essentially, what Ron just said. This is going to be a big test for Shawn Porter, but I don't know whether. Yeah, you guys is a credible. How do we judge to say that he is a credible fighter? If that makes sense.
Let's make no mistakes about it. He has not fighting anybody on the level of Shawn Porter to this point. Maybe in the amateurs, but not as far as a professional. But saying that though, if you look at Ugas in the ring, look at his punch selection, look at his body work, look at his movement. It tells you that this guy is one of the elite welterweights in the division, maybe top 10. Yeah, top 10 world. I would say yes. Yeah, definitely is. So it's going to be a very, very tough challenge for Shawn Porter. I don't know what kind of style he's going to try to come out and do, because we've seen him against Danny Garcia box more, and it wasn't the rumble and tumble Shawn Porter, but in all of his other fights, we've seen that Shawn Porter. So I'm just not really sure of the Shawn Porter that we're going to see, but I do know that the Shawn Porter will be game, and Ugas is going up a uphill challenge. But to say that just because of his resume, he's not worthy or he's not on the level, I mean, we'll see on the night.
Well, you've seen Ugas. What do you see in Ugas that he does great? That people
punch selection, man, body work, man. The guy got good movement. The only knock on Ugas is he doesn't really have that one punch power or that one punch concussive kind of power. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a cumulative of punches and like combinations.
What I've seen from Ugas, he's definitely a great body puncher. He throws combinations, like you said. He's never been stopped. I think the chat was helping me out. You know, he's defeated Crawford in the amateurs. And just when you think of Cuban boxers, you think of like the success rate that they've had, you know, across most of their careers. Now, this is obviously going to be the biggest step up. I'm definitely picking Shawn Porter to win, but this is definitely.
I got you on record for that down. I got you on record.
Put it down. I definitely
Ron
think.
G.
I think this is a fight where if Shawn Porter takes lightly, he can definitely lose. But at the same time, considering who he is and how the welterweight division's set up, I mean, Errol Spence is set up for him to beat Mikey Garcia. Crawford is set up to beat Amir Khan. And recently, Keith Thurman was essentially for his comeback. He was set up to kind of beat Josecito Lopez in a stylish fashion. So I think Shawn Porter, amongst those guys at this point, he needs to have a performance to compare to the other guys, or the other guys are going to be, you know, placed way above him. He's always kind of been the dark horse of this division. He's worked his way, you know, back to the WBC rankings to become a 2-time champion in this weight class. He's competed for the WBA and came up short, but very close to Keith Thurman. So this guy's definitely elite. But this fight, regardless, at the end of the day, he has to have a star-studded performance if he wants to be able to be compared to the other 147 division fighters.
Khan, who you got and why?
I have to go with Shawn Porter. I think he's been in there with people that have. I know he's lost to. I think he lost to Kell Brook. But he's been, and Keith Thurman too. But I feel like he's been in there when a fighter's been, even though a fighter's lost. I feel like if they've been in there with I say credible opponents or world champions at the time, I think it just gives you an added level of experience. And I don't, obviously, Ron just said Ugas has had the amateur experience. He beat Crawford too in the amateurs, according to the chat. But I'd have to go with the experienced fighter, which would have to be Shawn Porter, in my opinion.
I'm gonna go with Yordenis Ugas. I think Shawn Porter might make the mistake of coming out and try to box Ugas if he doesn't make it a rough and tough and inside fight, which could be a mistake because Ugas is a beautiful inside puncher, man. The guy really has nice punch selection. So
why would you want him to go inside then? If Shawn Porter?
Because if you try to fight at range of Ugas, man, he's a Cuban boxer. I mean, probably a good counter puncher, but well. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and just go against the grain. I'm gonna go with Ugas, and I'm gonna go Ugas by decision. I think he outpoints Porter and frustrates Porter to the point where can't really take out his game plan on Ugas. So I got Ugas on points.
In the UK, he's 3-1, I believe. I don't know how you guys work that. Yeah, he's 3-1 in the UK to win. But I'm surprised because they're not showing that in the UK. So this fight isn't actually on. I don't know if anyone in the chat knows where they're not showing it. No, they're not showing it on ITV. They're not showing it on Sky. So I don't know whether BT is showing it. But as it stands, I don't think it's being shown in the UK.
Probably, hopefully, Box Nation picks it up if no other major platform.
Oh man.
I mean,
ITV. I thought it would be on ITV because of the whole Frank Warren connection, but
that would make sense.
No, sorry, the Fox connection, the PBC connection too, but it's not on ITV. And normally they would announce it fight week, but they haven't announced anything.
Wow, man. Maybe it's not. I don't know, man. I really don't know. That's kind of weird. You have a championship fight not posted on seen overseas.
And with the news that Al Heyman was coming to do UK shows, it would have been a great way to at least get, I don't know, the UK audience to pay attention. So,
yeah, man, they dropped the ball with that, man. Like, I don't understand why there's not no UK TV rights going on with this fight. Good fight. You got a lot of people on the undercard. Maybe it just doesn't make sense financial wise for the networks, but it is what it is. Ron G, I gotta defer to you. Francisco Santana, Abel Ramos.
What the hell? Is that the co-main? I thought FA was the co-main.
FA, I mean, maybe he is. I know these three fights will be FA and Mansour, Francisco Santana, and Abel Ramos will be on the Fox stream. But
let's get on this FA first, though. Let me get on this FA Ajagba. All right,
man.
I like him. I like him.
F.A. Ajagba. He's a Nigerian, 24. He competed in the Olympics in 2016. He's most notably famous for the Curtis Harper when he walks out of the ring, right when the bell starts, he gets out of the ring and the fight ends. F.A. Ajagba's left in the corner without a fight. So he's trained by Ronnie Shields. He's a big diesel heavyweight. He's 6'5" with an 88-inch reach. He's good, man. This is definitely going to be a big step-up fight, though, because he's fighting Amir Mansour, 23-3. He's been in there fights with, like, Flip Hagrovic, Dominic Brazil, Steve
Gerald
Cunningham,
Washington.
Gerald Washington, and he came up short. I mean, the most he got out of those guys was a draw. He did beat Travis Kaufman, I believe, and, he's even been there with Sergey Kuzmin, so he's experienced. He's been there. But, like all prospects, this is set up for F.A. Ajagba to win. Amir Mansour is 46 years old. That is an old dog. So coming off all these knockout losses, especially to Flip Hagrovic, he's going from Flip Hagrovic now to F.A. Ajagba. I don't know, man. I think this is perfect setup for F.A. Ajagba. He would technically be 8-8 if Curtis Harper didn't walk out with 8 wins and 8 knockouts, but that's pretty much a better, I guess, asterisk to have of if your fighter walks out of the fucking ring.
So with I wanted to ask you guys a question because you know it better than me, but with where FA is currently ranked, if he beats Mansour, which most people believe he will, what happens because he's not ranked, because Mansour is ranked significantly below him, what happens to his rating? Like, how much does a fighter jump up in rankings by beating someone that's ranked lower than them?
I mean,
man, I don't know.
I mean, who's ranked ahead of him? I mean, he's probably not going to get a significant jump, but it's, I guess, the manner of how he beats him. I don't know how Boxford calculates it, but
hey man, real quick. I'm sorry, but chat real quick since we can't have callers tonight. I need to know Ugas or Porter. Ugas or Porter. But yeah, man. I really am. I'm not really a fan of this fight. I think Amir Mansour is fight after fight after fight. He's been put in tough. 46 years old, going against a man. I'm telling you, African Nightmare Usman. Please, this guy Fa is a nightmare for anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, being that he's a Olympian, and being that we seen him train, Ness went down to his gym in Houston a couple months ago, and the kind of training Fa does, man, is very, very remarkable. Ness did like an hour video with him, and that whole hour he was training with like 1 minute breaks in between different workouts. The guy looks like a freaking animal, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, I got a FA. I just don't like the fact that Amir Mansour has been put in there so tough, and he's really going against a lot, man. I really think the world of FA, man. I think he's going to be a problem in this heavyweight division down the road, and he got a good trainer. So, yeah, I got FA, and I got FA by stoppage.
Maybe even a first-round stoppage. He's only seen past the second round once. So.
Yeah, but I think Amir Mansour got enough veteran tactics to make it a fight where FA has to learn how to get somebody out of there. I don't think Amir Mansour is the kind of guy that's just going to come up and lay down. You know what I'm saying? I think he has a lot more fighting and a lot more pride in that. So I do expect a competitive fight for as long as it lasts, but I do expect FA to get Amir Mansour out of there. Akan, do you have any thoughts about this fight?
Yeah, I do completely agree with what you said. I do think he'll try to take him out of there quite quickly. I was looking on BoxRec too, and I was just thinking there's people ranked significantly higher than him that I believe could have been a better step up for him too. I'm not entirely sure whether that. I think if you are a promoter or you're a fighter and you're looking at FA and you'll say a Lucas Brown who's ranked higher than him, or a Charles Martin or a Brian Jennings, or
started though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, To be fair, he has age on his side. I'm kind of comparing him to Joe Joyce, but because Joe Joyce is kind of taking leaps, but Joe Joyce is significantly older. He's nearly got 10 years on him. So, yeah, I think he will take him out within the first 3 rounds.
I mean, FA started his professional career, it looks like in 2017, in July.
Okay.
So at the end of July, so practically August of that
So he's
year.
less than So he's less than 2
pretty
years into it.
active. Yeah, he's been pretty active last year. It looks like he fought 5 times. And some of these dudes should be ranked higher than him. Like who'd you say?
Hellenius?
Lucas Brown. Like Lucas Brown should be ranked higher than him. But granted, Flip Hygrovic just fought this guy, and Flip Hygrovic was 5-0 or 4-0 at that time. And technically, even though Curtis Harper walked out of the ring, that still counts as a win. F.A. Ajagba only had 7 fights, so this would be kind of like his 8th professional fight. So
correct.
It's definitely something where you obviously don't want to rush the prospect. When you look at the people he's fought, he hasn't fought anyone significant. Most of them do have like a winning record, but this is the first barometer before you can send him an asterisk. But you brought up a good point. Joe Joyce is old.
Yeah, Joe Joyce is old in the boxing world. He's very old.
So they got to fast track him if they want to give him any type of hope, So I got FA by stop.
Yeah, we all. I think we all got FA. So you don't know anything about Francisco Santana and Abel Ramos?
You said what?
You don't know anything about Francisco Santana or Abel Ramos?
Let me go pull up their box track. I'm not really.
That's all good, man.
Let's see. Francisco Santana, welterweight. Who's he fighting? Abel Ramos. Looks like Francisco Santana. Oh, I think I know this dude. Hold on, let me see. I think is he doing that beat? Oh, yes. I have seen him. So he was in the Evander Holyfield tournament, right? It was a welterweight tournament, and Felix Diaz moved up, I think, from 140 to 147. He was the seed favorite in this tournament, right? And Francisco Santana was like the bottom of the seed. It was like number 1 versus number 8. And Felix Diaz lost this fight. This was actually a 5 judges was used for this fight, I remember. And Santana won, man. So that's where Ness was calling Felix Diaz a bum because of essentially Francisco Santana beat him. So this is where he's at. Abel Ramos is, let's see, he is coming off of a couple wins, and he fought Jamal James and Ivan Bronchek. He actually went distance with, he even dropped Ivan. Okay, so he definitely got some pop, but maybe Ivan's a little chinny, would you say?
Ivan Bronchek?
Yeah, didn't he drop in his last fight too, or didn't?
I don't think
It was the Petrov fight. He was dropped. No, I don't know what the fudge I'm talking about. I thought he got dropped. But
this kind of impressive, man. That a guy Abel Ramos dropped. I know, so could be a good little fight. I see why they put that fight on the main card. It looks like it's gonna be an all action fight. I really don't want to give a pick because I really don't know much about either one of these guys.
Looking at it, I might probably just favor off Abel Ramos, just seeing the fact of who he's fought. He hasn't really lost anyone bad. If you look at Francisco Santana, he actually lost to Jose Benavidez, the boy that Crawford.
I mean, that's not a bad loss.
He's fought Saddam Ali and lost. So this is an interesting fight. These guys are definitely going to help clarify the division. I think this is one of. Oh shit! This dude fought Jamel Charlo. What the fuck, nugget? Francisco Santana fought Jamel Charlo. Okay, and Kareem Mayfield twice.
Damn, it's gonna be a good fight, bro.
This is an interesting fight just based off their losses. Okay, so these guys lost to some really good guys, but I think this fight is going to help clarify this division. So, yeah, I'm gonna
go ahead and call it, man. This is gonna be the fight of the weekend. I don't know shit about it, but this is gonna be the fight of the weekend, man.
Yo, I need the chat to help us out because look, these two guys are probably going to be like that Laura Ortiz undercard, where they had that pretty good.
Don't say that, man.
What do you mean? You didn't think that was a good fight?
Which one? The Ortiz and Hammer?
No, the one before that, the WBA Eliminator.
Oh hell yeah, definitely.
I'm getting them type of vibes, just looking at that. But
and FYI for the PBC card, it will start on FS1 with Eimantas Stanionis versus Sammy Figueroa, and Damien Vazquez versus Juan Carlos Payano.
Yo,
Payano.
they also put Jesus Cuellar. He's coming back again.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That's who he's fighting. Carlos Payano.
Cuellar. That's the guy that got knocked out by Davis, right?
Javante Ting Davis and fought Abner Mares.
Abner Mares, yeah.
Also, Rolly's on the card. Rolando.
What up, baby? What up, Rolly? Boy, your name out here in the streets hot, goddamn it. You with Ryan Garcia, you know what I'm saying? Link with Ryan Garcia, link with Floyd Mayweather. It's about time, man. We see what you made of, dog. All this talk about you. Gotta see you in the ring. I'm so happy to see you in the ring this weekend.
Con, you heard of Rolly, right? The one that's been like calling out Ryan Garcia, the sparring footage on YouTube of them fighting, the whole
Yeah. Is that the same guy that who was it that Floyd Mayweather offered 200,000?
Yeah, that's him. That's
Rolly.
Was that for that fight?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
okay.
He's gonna be in the card. 7-0. Got the internet buzzing.
Yeah.
And y'all right, man. We definitely should get Rolly on TBV, man. See what this guy's story, because I really don't know much about him. Just that his name has been linked with these guys, Tank and Ryan Garcia.
Well,
so.
you can look online. There's like this big ass.
Footage. I think his hey.
You think, man? Was he putting paws on Ryan Garcia, or would you?
I mean, at times he was. You know what I'm saying? But I seen some good moments from Ryan Garcia, and I'm just of the mindset, man. Maybe Ryan Garcia. See, people. Damn, I know Ryan Garcia not even fighting, but people get it kind of misconstrued with like Ryan, man. I think Ryan has a lot of ability, has a lot of natural ability. Just gotta harness his skills, you know what I'm saying, and trying to rush him and put him in there with Javante, even though the kid is very, very smart, man. Get your name associated with Javante so early in your career is only going to help it down the line. You guys can potentially make a super fight, you know what I'm saying, if everything goes as planned in both of you guys' careers. So, but like with Rolly, I'm just of the mindset. I want to see this kid and see what he has. You know what I'm saying? I seen Ryan Garcia in the ring. I seen Tank in the ring. I heard a lot about Rolly. I want to see him under the lights when it counts the most, not sparring.
And on top of that, the return of the ghost, Robert Guerrero. So if you guys know,
he's fighting with nobody though, man. He's fighting like a guy that like he has to win, because the guy has like 10 losses and seven knockout losses. So if he don't win this fight, man, Robert Guerrero needed to hang it up.
Yo, the Ghost was first notably known in my radar as like a bad mofo. He was coming up in the rankings in different weight classes, but when he beat Andre Berto, then obviously you got the Floyd Mayweather fight. He lost, and he fought Keith Thurman, lost, and Danny Garcia, and then Omar Figueroa kind of put him away. So he came back. He was on the undercard, I think, for the Wilder? Was he at the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, right, Mike? So he got a stoppage. It was a second round stoppage against a guy named Adam Mate, and now he's going against a guy named Heavenson Herrera. 24 wins, 16 losses, 1 draw. So Robert Guerrero should win this fight just because of who he is, and he wouldn't just be coming back retirement just to get beat up. But where does he go in this division? You know,
do you think that's a make it or break it kind of fight for him?
I mean, to be honest, we make jokes about Top Rank diet, but PBC, all promoters, they do diets, you know, to kind of build their fighters back up or make sure that they're not in too much harm. My only thing is, like, if he gets past this win, I mean, he's fighting at welterweight division. Like, who's he gonna fight at 147? Like, this division is obviously full of killers. I would not want to see him against Errol Spence at this age. I would not want to see him against a Terrence Crawford. I would not want to see him even with like Shawn Porter, the winner of the Ugas fight. I mean, these guys are in their prime. Manny Pacquiao, I don't want to see Manny Pacquiao versus Robert Guerrero. Manny Pacquiao is already chasing one of the big dogs to end his career. So where does he go? I mean, my only thing is maybe an Andre Berto and Guerrero too, you know?
Yeah, but then could it be, you mentioned his age, could it just be that he is looking for that last, it might be that last big payday? He could take one of those top guys if he does put on, I don't know, a good enough performance. It could be, okay, well, I'm chasing one of these top guys because that could be my last big payday if I put on a good enough performance. Because it does look like in that division, the big fights aren't happening it looks like a similar kind of issue, maybe less egos, but a similar kind of issue in terms of the top fighters in that division aren't fighting each other just yet. So there could be a way in for him to secure one of the guys at 147.
Yo, I think OTKP had a good suggestion. Robert Guerrero versus John Molina or Josecito Lopez, because Robert Guerrero has already lost to Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia. You know what I mean? So there's no point in running those back. Is he really coming back though for like a Josecito Lopez though? Like, damn, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to figure out, is there someone from 140?
Who's he training with? Who's he training with?
You're talking about Robert Guerrero? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yes, sir. I don't know his training. Is his trainer still his pops?
Oh, good point. I think it is his dad. Yeah, his dad is always.
Come on, baby. I'm a casual, big dog.
Hey, Ruben Guerrero, I forgot. Yo, when he did the Mayweather.
Oh man.
Woman beater. Woman beater.
Oh shit.
He liked to beat up his wife in front of his kids.
Yeah, let's change the subject then. We're gonna go on to the DAZN card, man. Headlined by Dmitry, Bivol, and Joe Smith Jr. I got this, man. I'm telling you, I've been talking about it for like almost 2 weeks now, and Ron been making fun of me. And
No. Actually, you got me hyped though. You know what? I was being kind of pessimistic, but then you guys broke it down. No, the Bivol and Joe Smith Jr. is a solid fight.
Yeah, man. The only reason I'm going with Bivol, I mean not Bivol, but Joe Smith Jr. in this fight, I think Joe Smith is the bigger man and probably is going to be the stronger man on the night of the fight. Now, I do think that Bivol has better boxing skills than Joe Smith Jr., but I think Joe Smith Jr. is a hard-nosed kind of boxer that's going to make it a very tough and difficult fight. And I don't know if Bivol is like a natural 175 because there have been talks of him going down to 168. And I'm telling you, a guy like Joe Smith Jr. coming in the ring, 6'3", maybe 195 on the night, it's going to be hard to keep Joe Smith Jr. off Bivol. So I got Joe Smith Jr. I want to say by stoppage, but he might be able to box his way to a points victory if he's able to let Bivol feel his power and get a knockdown or two throughout the night.
Yeah, I don't think Bivol knocks him out. I think it will be a points, but I don't know. I feel like from how Bivol's been talking in the press conference, it seems like he's ready to go to war. I don't feel like he's going there to try and win on points. I think he's ready to go to war with Joe Smith Jr. because allegedly the trainer of Bivol said that this fight was supposed to be should have happened last year, so around November time. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of approach he takes to it. But from what he has been saying in his press conference, it seems like he's ready to go punch for punch with Joe Smith Jr. So that would be a good fight.
Look, I'm picking Bivol based off the triangle theory I first looked at, but when I really break down the triangle theory, my triangle theory made no sense. So obviously Joe Smith Jr. has been in there with guys like Sullivan Barrera, all right? Now he lost to Sullivan Barrera and Bivol actually stopped Barrera. However, when you really look at that fight with Joe Smith Jr. and Sullivan Barrera, Barrera went down in the first round. Granted, at that point, unfortunately, Joe Smith had to fight the rest of the fight with a broken jaw. Mike and some of the other guys in the chat was actually saying that shows a testament of who Joe Smith Jr. is. You break my jaw, like maybe a Victor Ortiz, I might just quit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. He went through the whole fight.
A lot of guys not going to finish that fight with a broken jaw, man. I'm telling you right now. A lot of guys going to be like, hey, man, shit, 8 more rounds, 9 more rounds with my jaw. And that having a broken jaw not only hurts like shit, but probably affects your breathing, you know what I'm saying? Affects your mindset too. You can't really think clearly when you have all that pain rushing through your mind. So I think big ups to Sullivan Barrera not taking anything away from him. But I think if Joe Smith Jr. was not injured in that fight would have played out a little bit differently.
I mean, think about it. Like I said, Barrera went down the first round. And like, I remember he stopped Far in the first round. And granted, Bernard Hopkins was way past fighting. But, you know, we gave Bernard Hopkins the highlight. He's falling out of the ring. And he doesn't even know he's out of the ring. And so,
hey, man, y'all pissing me off, though, man.
Got cracked.
Y'all pissing me off, man. Y'all giving Run these cool-ass nicknames, Run the Don.
No.
And shit. I ain't even got a nickname yet, bro. I've been doing this shit a long time, too, man. I want a nickname. Mike, what's up? Sleepy Mike or some shit. Give me something.
They
Run the
call
fucking
King of
gun.
Khan too, though.
Yeah, they called.
Run the
They
fucking
called. They
gun.
said. I think they called you a drunk before, Mike. Something
That's
about being
Ams.
drunk.
That's Ams, man. Ams always call me a fucking drunk, like I drink every fucking day. So Ams, I'm not drinking on live on air, bro. Like it's nighttime. I might have me a little shot or something.
You got a Henny bottle on your cap.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But we're gonna move on. Bivol and Joe Smith Jr.
Who you got? I got Bivol.
Yeah, I know who I got, nigga. Joe Smith Jr.
I got Bivol on points. Bivol,
guys, man, you guys are living on the safe side, man.
You going underdog this week, man. This is.
I just think, man, it's the weekend. When I'm gonna pay off. But on the undercard, we got the return of Mighty Mo, Maurice Hooker, WBO 140. Say what now?
They said Mike Jones. Yo, look, you.
Kush Mike.
Hey, chat, you win though. Bivol,
Mike the Dyke. Okay. Smith. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get on to this. My guy. Who was I just talking about?
Maurice Hooker.
Yeah, Mighty Mo. He's fighting a guy named Les Pierre. What's the guy's name? Mikhail Les Pierre. Ron was actually in the gym with him and seen Mikhail do some training. So I'm gonna let Ron take it away. What did you see from Mikhail, and does he have enough to cause the upset?
I know you like stories, like good stories. So you want me to give you a Les Pierre story?
I mean, I'm down for it. You know me.
So what's really interesting about this fight is everyone knows Maurice Hooker. He's been in 2 tough fights last year, and he's been compared of like fighter of the year based off his performances last year, just because he was the underdog. He was an underdog fighter. He wasn't supposed to beat Terry Flanagan, and he wasn't supposed to beat Alex Aceto, and he came up in both those fights in a very gritty fashion this last fight. So now his opponent, Mikhail Les Pierre, his day job, he's working as a front desk at the ear, nose, and throat department of Mount Sinai Hospital in downtown New York City, and he's checking in patients. Then after an 8-hour shift, he takes his gear and he puts his head, heads over to across the East River to Gleason's gym in Brooklyn. That's where like Paul and Malignaggi's trained. So at that point, he goes over there and he commutes and he takes about 30 minutes basically on the subway. He's trying to fight to get away from his 9-to-5 job. He's just a regular dude who can't afford to have like a fancy boxing lifestyle like other fighters. And pretty much when I went to the first press conference where they lined up Bivol and Joe Smith Jr. and Maurice Hooker, immediately from the start, all the media went to everybody but him, because it seemed like no one knew him. Eventually at a point, you can tell like he's like, I ain't gonna stick around, and he left before anyone was able to get an interview with him, because he just realized at that point no one cared. He's like a super underdog. So at that point, even though he's undefeated, he's coming here as an underdog because Maurice Hooker has showed a lot of grit, and as a champion, he deserves to be at 140. So
does he have enough though? You've been in the gym with him and you seen Mighty Mo in action. Can Mikhail Les Pierre cause the upset?
As much as I like stories, I really think that Maurice Hooker is just the guy that Matchroom invested in and didn't want to really probably put him in a tough fight yet, and probably waiting for like the World Boxing Super Series kind of winner. Maurice Hooker saying that he wants Regis, Prograis, and he's been around guys like Crawford, right? And he's been around guys like Errol Spence. Those are his guys. So at that point, he definitely wants to have a big fight. He definitely wants to have those big fights. And I just think this is just a fight for Maurice Hooker just to win, take over, and just sit around for those.
I'm not sure if it was Maurice Hooker, but did he get dropped in his last fight?
Yes, sir.
Like a war,
he did, right?
He was, yeah. Him and Alex Aceto went to war.
Okay. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see if he comes out trying to go to war this time. I don't know if he will. It's probably unlikely that a fighter that just comes off a fight where he's been dropped and essentially went to war would come up with the same mentality.
I mean, if you look at the Flanagan and you look at his last fight, both of those fights kind of play out similar. Like he goes out, try to work that jab, but at the end of the day, he gets drugged into a fucking fight.
Yeah, that was a war. The Flanagan fight, I believe that was in Manchester. That was definitely a war. Yeah, that was a war.
And I think Hooker's a good guy and all, but I think he loses guys like Regis. I think that he has defensive holes in his game plan, like Mike said. he gets drugged in these type of fights. And granted, the fact that to me Les Pierre is a little unknown, it's definitely something I wouldn't be surprised that if Maurice Hooker lost, though, just because there's still things I need to see improved from Maurice Hooker. I definitely
now I don't expect him to lose, even though the guy's coming off 2 knockout victories in the last 2 fights. I don't know if he has the enough power to keep Maurice Hooker off of him. And let's not make any mistakes about it. Maurice Hooker is a bigger guy coming into this fight with a 6'8" wingspan for a 140-pound fighter. That's dangerous, man. If he can get full extension on his punches and catch Les Pierre coming in, I expect Maurice Hooker to be very, very successful in this fight, and I expect him to possibly get the knockout. So, but sometimes, like OTKP said in the chat, he fights down to his competition. We seen him on HBO a year or 2 ago, where he was in a fight where he actually got a gift draw. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought he lost the fight. Many people calling the fight, and after the fight thought he lost too. So, but ever since then, it seemed like he's been a changed fighter and individual, more focused. So, I got Hooker winning, but I just don't know how he's going to win. If Les Pierre is the one who applies the pressure, which he should, because he's a shorter fighter. As a taller fighter, you should never go to the smaller fighter, make the smaller fighter come towards you. I think Hooker has what it takes, and it's going to be a signature win for Hooker come Saturday night.
Man, I think Hooker just he's more experienced. He's been there. He's overcame adversities. They were pumping Alex Aceto as that guy to just come over and take his belt over, and you can see he got grit, man. That dude. So if Les Pierre does beat him, he's gonna have to take it from him. So I just think Hooker is just that guy right now in that particular fight.
Hey, man, somebody give Jack the fucking Twitter password, man. This guy always got critiques about if we don't do this, if we don't do that, nigga.
Nah.
We try to give you the password so you can do all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Not be a fucking Monday morning quarterback, you know what I'm saying?
Jack need to get on the show. Jack been ducking the show ever since everyone was like, Jack
and
AJ
AJ
together was like the duo. They were like
him and Elms, they're just keyboard warriors, but that's okay. Yeah, keyboard warriors. They tap that screen. That's what they do.
Yo, man.
So they tap that screen.
You ever see? Look, Elms hasn't called in ever since you.
Elms has never. I've never since I asked Elms to call in. He's made up excuse after excuse.
Like
and then
man.
And then Elms has said, "Oh, I finished work at 4 p.m. UK time." So I said, "Okay," but the show didn't end until 5 p.m. UK time. But he still didn't call in, so I don't. Yeah, Elms is ducking, but that's okay.
Yo, so you.
Well, let's go to one of your.
Man? I just want to know: is Akan Elms' boogeyman?
I mean, look at it, man. People are calling Akan the king of Khan in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So, UK people loving him. You know what I'm saying? UK people love Dave.
Jack just said, "Send him the link. He's coming on."
Oh, Jack wants.
Oh wow! Hey, y'all hold it down real quick. Let me send Jack the link.
Yo, Jack coming for you, Akan. Y'all came in like, what was it? Like Keenan and Kel. Like, what's a good duo? Like twins, man.
Yeah, like
Jack and Kobe now, man. Y'all now about to come at each other.
Oh no, where Mike? He said he's playing. He said he's.
Oh, not Jack. You a duck, bro. You a duck. Don't ever.
I told
All right, let's move on.
Jack's no longer the truth. He's just Jack. From now on, I don't want to hear Jack is the truth anymore.
King the Khan, Jack the duck. So let's go. What's
the next one? Is that Yarde Reeves?
Oh, it's Callum Johnson, right?
Oh, Callum Johnson, that's the one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
And Shawn Monahan. Who you got?
I've got Callum Johnson. He wants the winner of the Bivol fight. So he wants Bivol. Essentially, he believes Bivol's gonna win, and he wants the shot against Bivol. So I think he's gonna come out to try and make a statement. I think the last world title shot he got, that was an absolute war. It ended in 4 rounds, but it was an absolute war. Both men got dropped. But he's someone that he's an animal. I believe Callum Johnson's an animal, and he has power. He has crazy power. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches that. on the weekend, but I have Callum Johnson to win that quite convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out if Arthur is chinny, you know what I mean? And not taking anything away from Callum, but I definitely feel like he's the weakest champion amongst them all. And there was a moment that we were going to see possibly and the new. So Shawn Monahan, he's been in there with Sullivan Barrera, went the distance, wasn't the prettiest fight, and Sullivan got the decision. So at this point, if Arthur just comes and sparks this guy out, then we're really gonna know it's not just Arthur's chin being chinny. This dude got crack. You know, I know Mike was rooting for the upset in that particular fight, and it was looking like it was heading that direction, but sure enough, he got hit back. So this is definitely something where it's a good step down, get him a little bit more comfortable off his very close fight, and then at this point, maybe he'll be another title shot. You know, Bivol's right around the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
And if Bivol wants to go down to 168 and vacate this title, that's a perfect opportunity for him to shoot for that vacant belt. So
definitely, I agree. It'll be an interesting one.
So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that because this could be a future opponent for either Joe Smith or Bivol, depending who wins that fight. But what you think, Mike? I think you're gonna pick Callum, you Callum lover. What are you doing over there, Mike? I wish you guys can see Mike right now.
I feel like he's still.
What is he doing? Yo, I swear Mike be sleepy, bro. He's over here breaking the Google Hangout. Oh my god.
Shout out Jake Cleary in the chat. He's always showing every host love. Like, I've always noticed it. Like, he's always showing every host love. So shout out Jake Cleary.
Yes, shout out to everyone. Gem JM always holding down. Augustus Berg, Simon Ghost Riley, Dogman Hots, J Hardcore, OTKP. Who in here thinks that Callum is going to lose the fight? Anyone in the chat thinks that he's going to lose? Because I don't see that at all.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they think actually.
But while they're doing that, let me go see if there's anyone else on this card. Anyone else that we should? Oh, Sergey Kuzmin. Sergey Kuzmin's coming back after David Price. What was he? Messed up his arm or something in that last fight. Retired with a torn right bicep. Yeah, that's right. So Sergey Kuzmin 14-0 against Joey Dwako. Granted, he is not the perfect fighter. He's coming off of 2 losses, one to Brian Jennings and a guy named Andre Fedosov. So what do you think, man? You think Sergey Kuzmin can get the knockout in this fight?
He should. He should really. It'd be surprising if he doesn't. I'm not entirely sure about him yet as a heavyweight. I'm not sure. I'll be interested. I'll definitely watch the fight. To kind of check him out so I can kind of see what level he's at. Because I think he's definitely I believe he's a DAZN fighter, right? Was he signed by anyone?
Let me see. I think he's Matchroom manager. No, I don't think he is Matchroom. I think he just probably been getting these Matchroom fights.
Okay.
But he's 31 from Russia. He's actually stopped Joe Joyce in the amateurs. If you guys didn't know that.
Yeah, on his record, he's also been in with Amir Mansour, but that was judged a no contest.
Yeah, I think Ness and I was trying to look at that the other day. Original decision was a TD. Post-fight sample, Amir Mansour shown. Oh, did Amir Mansour pop dirty? I can't remember. Yo, Amir Mansour pop dirty, I think. If so, that is who FA is going to fight. Hopefully he comes in clean. But
oh yeah, because they do drug test them before the fight too, right? Like right before the fight. Do they not?
Yeah, I guess.
Or is it right after the fight? I think they drug test fighters right after. I think it's right after the fight.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Well, why would he put it in a no contest? Oh, it's TD. I think there was like a early headbutt or something. I don't know. This shit. Either or, I got Sergey Kuzmin by knockout, and if not, then like Ness would probably say, I can hear his voice already talking about this. So, yeah, that ends that card. Let's move on to, what is it, Anthony Yarde? And
Anthony Yarde is fighting Travis Reeves.
all right, talk about this. All right, I need to hear this because Jack loves Anthony Yarde, man. Jack
Loves him. Jack
loves him.
sleeps in Anthony Yarde pajamas. Like he loves him some Yarde.
But he's
He loves
17
him.
and 0. He's 16 KO.
I mean, it
highly
is
ranked.
impressive. I do like him as a fighter. Jack thinks I hate him, but I do like him as a fighter. I just think he could have been in with someone that could have challenged him already. He does want to fight. I have to give it to him. He does want to fight Kovalev. So he has said that Frank Warren's come out and said that they would like the WBO to make that a mandatory for the end of this year. His team has said that they believe he's ready for that. He said he wants it now. So I don't know. We could see that fight by the end of the year, but Kovalev has several options. So I'm not sure whether he will choose Yarde, even if Yarde wants him. But obviously, if Yarde does become a mandatory, then it's not up to Kovalev. I mean, he's gonna have to fight him. But yeah, I'll be interested. This fight, I don't believe that Reeves can do much to Yarde. Yarde's come in incredible shape. He looked great at the weigh-in today. Today. So I don't see Reeves putting up much of a challenge to him. Especially compared to Yarde's last opponent. I don't believe that Reeves is going to be much different. But it'll be interesting. It'll be a good fight.
How many amateur fights has Yarde had? He has only had 12, right? Or something?
Yeah, he's only at 12. 12,
So,
I believe.
my question is, I think I like Yarde, and I know there's a Yarde and Buatsi comparison a lot because, you know, obviously they're in the same weight class, both prospects in a sense. So, is this something where, you know, since he only has 12 amateur fights, in your honest opinion, is it okay for him to continue just to take fights and just kind of get better on the job, or you just want to throw him to the wolves right away and have more fights?
I wouldn't. When I say throw him to the, I mean in terms of a step up, a significant or just a bigger step up in competition. Someone that's actually going to be a challenge for him. It's either that my personal opinion is that the people he's been in with haven't been challenging enough for him, but someone like Jack would think, well, he's just making it look easy. So Jack's also said, we shouldn't rush him. We should take his time. But I think what the issue is in the UK, you have a lot of people that I believe would like to get behind him, but then they're kind of seeing him and he's not being rushed. So they're taking their time with him, and Frank Warren will come out and defend who he's fighting, and it'll be people that no one really knows of. But then I have to kind of say that that's probably because most people that are boxing fans in the UK might not necessarily know who those opponents are, even if they are well ranked in the light heavyweight scene. Like, they're not very popular names, so it could look like, he's fighting this one that someone might think is a bum, or he's fighting that person that someone might think is a taxi driver. But really and truly, they are credible, but they just don't really know of them in the light heavyweight scene because they're not too familiar with that division.
Well, Shower penned him. He said some interesting stuff in the chat. He says he has fought. Has he fought anyone in the top 50? And then he also states Yarde isn't moving slow. He's moving backwards. I mean, what do you think about Shower Penn's comments in the chat?
I don't think. I believe he's fought. No, I believe he's fought one person. I believe it doesn't sound great, but I believe he's fought one person in the top 50. I believe one, and I believe that was either one fight ago or two fights, or two of his previous fights. He's fought one person, but it's quite. I don't know. I think as someone being I think he's a WBO number one.
Yeah.
I think that's why people expect more of him. If he wasn't ranked number one, I think if you compare it, we can't really compare it to heavyweights, but if you try to compare it to the heavyweights and you look at a Dillian Whyte, for example, Dillian Whyte is number one with, is it the WBO? WBC, and I believe the WBO. Yeah. And it's like he's taking these risks. He's fighting Joseph Parker. He's fighting Derek Chisora. He was about to fight Anthony Joshua, but that fell through. He's taking risk, and he's willing to risk his position. So as much as you might think, he's ducked a title shot, at the same time, he's fought people that are credible. They're former world champions, and he's come out on top. So people, you have to respect who Dillian Whyte has fought to get to the position and to maintain his position. So I think people are looking at it and saying, okay, well, it's a different division, but why isn't Yarde willing to risk his position? When if you're Team Yarde, you're looking at it and saying, we're number one, we're looking to make Yarde a champion, a world champion by the end of this year or beginning of next year. So why would we rush him? Why would we take any fight that's not a world title fight or not getting us any closer to the world title fight? Because if you're number one, if your next fight isn't going to be the champion, then why do risk that? I can see that point of view too. So I don't know. I think if you're Team Yarde, you'll say he's moving at the right pace. But if you're a fan or want to be a fan of Yarde, you'd like to see him in with someone that can challenge him a bit so that you can kind of see what he's really got in him. I don't think he's been tested yet. And the issue is if Sergey Kovalev versus Yarde was announced tomorrow or Saturday after the fight, then in my opinion, you have to make Kovalev the favorite. Like you have to, because I just believe that I think the betting on the spread, it would be the favorite too. I think Kovalev will be the favorite too. I don't believe Yarde would be the favorite going into that. I think that would be a huge step up for him, and I just don't know if he's able to handle that based on we haven't seen it. So it'll be interesting. I'll definitely be watching the fight tomorrow. So
I expect Yarde to just like do his normal win. Granted, at this point, it obviously has to be spectacular in the ways that he's been doing it. And at some point, he's at 27. Eventually, I think he should step up the competition a little bit. I think that if he doesn't want to go to Sergey Kovalev in the next fight, he needs to fight one of the top guys, at least someone that we all know. I mean, maybe a Sullivan Barrera would be interesting. Granted, Badu Jack is coming off an injury, and that might be maybe a risky fight since he is in a position for a title shot. If he needs a little barometer and stuff like that, maybe even the winner or the loser of some of these fights, so like the Arthur Beterbiev, the Shawn Monahan, he just needs to fight one of these guys that we all know that we can gauge. I mean, even Alito Alvarez is out there, if he can beat any of those guys very convincingly, then I think a lot of the hate that he gets goes away.
I do agree with that, but I don't know if Frank Warren will advise him to do that and if his team would advise him to do that. Based on the fact that I think they're just waiting for a world. I think they're convinced after watching Sergey Kovalev that they can beat him and they can beat him now, which is weird because if you're convinced that you can beat Sergey Kovalev and he's the champion, why are you not convinced that you can beat any of the other top 15 guys? But I don't know. I suppose they're trying to do what's best by him and they're trying to get him in a world title position. And currently, it's worked. So, as much as I think the majority would dislike it, they're doing right by their fighter, even if it's not right for the fans or the fans aren't in agreement with it.
Yo, Mike, you've been sleepy, Mike, man. Wake up, Mike.
Fucking computer ass shit had to restart because of fucking Jack punk ass, man. Fuck Jack. But anyway. I can't believe the fucking disrespect for Anthony Yarde, man. The guy had 12 amateur fights, 17 pro fights. He's moving at a pace where he's the number one WBO contender in the world. Also, it's not his fault the guys pull out when they fight him, man. He was going to fight a guy that took the WBC champion 12 rounds. He pulled out. Now he's fighting Trevor Rivas, and now he wants to fight Kovalev in the near future. I don't know why you guys are trying to rush him, you know what I'm saying? If he's fighting Kovalev in the fall or in the winter, that means he has a world title shot, big fight.
Yeah, but he's not. That's not confirmed. That's not confirmed.
It's
Mike.
not confirmed, but you heard. You've heard. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, bro, you had fucking 15 minutes to speak. I've been gone. I'm back now. He's been on Talk Sport. Anthony Yarde verbatim said he wants Kovalev next. His manager, Tunde Ajayi, said, if Anthony Yarde want it, I want it. Frank Warren has been out in the public saying he's going to petition the WBO to mandate Anthony Yarde get a title shot. I don't know what else they have to do to show you guys that they are progressing in the right way. Just because they're not moving at the speed that the UK public or UK boxing fans want them to move at, tough fucking titty. Who does? We got AJ. You guys don't give AJ stick about shit. AJ is not fighting the guy that you want AJ to fight.
Hold on, Mike. No,
you guys would have rather
Don't do
seen
that.
AJ
Don't
fight
do
fucking
that.
Dillian Whyte.
AJ was a champion in his 16th fight.
He was a champion. Oh my God.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't.
Champion in 16 fight.
Don't even go there. Don't tell me about the opposition. He was a world champion in his 16th fight. Do not compare
in a division that was probably watered down, and the belt had just got dispersed. Charles Martin won his belt because the guy fucking fucked up his knee in the ring. He twisted. No, fuck that. You're happy because Charles Martin beat a guy in the ring and twisted damn knee, and he got a championship belt. Then Charles Martin went over to fucking England and laid down for AJ. But you guys fucking proud of that? That's what you call a champion? Then he unified with a guy who's been out of the ring. Hold on, Mike, can I finish, goddammit? You had 10 minutes. You had 10 minutes. Then he unified with a guy who's been out of the ring 2 years. He unified with a guy who's out of the ring 2 years. How do you unify with a guy who's out of the ring 2 years?
How dare you, Mike? How dare you? How dare you? Are you forgetting that the same guy that's been out 2 years, Shelley Finkel, said, Wilder is just a baby when he won that belt in his 33rd fight?
Oh my God! Now you bring it up fucking Wilder. Hold on. Why we gotta bring up Wilder? Why does that have to do anything to do with Wilder? Because you guys know you guys are fucking fearful. Anytime you bring up AJ, you gotta bring up Wilder because you guys know what's gonna fucking happen when the guys get in the fucking ring. You guys are scared. You guys are fucking fearful. That's why you always try to down Wilder. It don't matter what happened. It don't matter what happened in the 33rd fight. It matter what happened. Fucking Mike. One guy named Anthony Joshua.
What do you want
Yarde? You had your fucking time.
What do you want Yarde to do if he doesn't fight Sergey motherfucking Kovalev?
It ain't about Yarde right now.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not about Yarde right now.
It is about Yarde. We're all talking about Yarde.
I
just asked the question. What do you want?
I make my point.
Who do you want Yarde to fight? Who do you want Yarde to fight? Who do you want Yarde to fight?
Back to Wilder.
Who? Why are we talking about Wilder? I'm asking who do you want Yarde to fight?
The UK brethren brought him up. I didn't bring him up. I'm just fucking I defended him.
All right, I'll let you answer my question.
It don't matter if it's 33rd fight he was fighting or not. It matters who he's fighting now. And two guys are fucking ducking him. AJ did not want to fight him in September, and Fury tasted that fucking right hand and that left hand and said, I don't want it anymore either.
That's why you're inconsistent, because your boy Wilder did not return no call. He knew that he could fight AJ this year. He knew he could fight AJ this year. His managers come out and said, we didn't respond to you. Shelley Finkel said on 3 different interviews, we didn't respond to you because we didn't want to be made.
Working on something else.
Oh, Mike, listen,
so they wasn't working on something else?
No, Mike, listen.
So all this year until
hold on, Mike.
Until last week, they wasn't working on the Fury rematch.
Mike, hold on. Shelley Finkel just came out within the last week and he said the reason why he hasn't responded to Eddie Hearn was because he didn't want to be made offers. He says if Eddie Hearn and AJ are serious, they will stop making offers and they will go to him and they'll sit
he was
down
not trying to be bothered with Eddie Hearn's offer because he was in negotiation with Frank Warren for the Fury rematch. They've been working on it for the January, February, and March. You know that. Like, I know. So why are you just trying to leave that little part out?
What do you mean I'm trying to leave that little part out? Don't act
like he wasn't filling his offers because he's doing negotiation with Fury.
Okay,
that's why he wasn't filling his offers.
Mike, if you listen to the if you listen to the that soundbite threw me off. What was I gonna say?
It don't even matter what you're gonna say, man. Let's get back to the topic, man. Real quick. Let me catch up real quick, man. I do got my guy Callum Johnson beating Shawn Monahan. Callum Johnson got fucking power and I mean he got some real power and he a dog. He showed me some shit in that Better Be fight. Showed me that he could get off the canvas if need be, but it did get over it in 4 rounds, but he did show some grit. Also with this Anthony Yarde Travis Rivas fight, I got Yarde, but I think this right here will be a learning fight for Yarde and possibly Yarde by decision. Daniel Dubois and Raj Von.
Hold on. You didn't answer my question. Before you switch over to Double D, I want to say if Anthony Yarde don't fight Sergey Kovalev, who do you want his ass to fight next, Mike?
I would like to see a nice test against Sullivan Barrera. I think that'll be a good barometer.
What if he don't? Like, I just want to get your perspective. If he don't fight Southern Barrera, some of these guys that you know just off the top of your head, like don't have to box Rick, don't have to Google. Let's say like what is your accepted time period? Because I understand he's learning on the job, 12 amateur fights.
For Mike, he's got 40 fights, right, Mike?
Doesn't matter to me. However many fights you want. Doesn't mean
I'm talking about
you can be
like,
Costin Panamara.
So what if you don't fight? What if you don't fight
and have 32 fights before you fight for a title? Don't matter.
Mike, when do you want him to like when is the tolerance level? Like, is it
I'm not
3 years?
I'm not his
years?
manager, man. I'm not.
It's not a manager. I'm asking as an honest fan. Like, would you want to see
honest fan?
Anthony Yarde?
I've said this on record many times. I like to see Anthony Yarde get maybe a title shot after his 20th fight. If they're not comfortable after his 20th fight, maybe after his 23rd, 24th fight. I don't have a problem with that. Because one thing you got to understand, man, when you become champion, the hardest thing is staying champion. You just don't want to go and beat it and get a belt just because, you know what I'm saying? So if you really think that you got some things to work on, it's best to iron those things out, then become a champion, and then you can have a long reign. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to be champion for a day and not be champion tomorrow.
But that's the thing, though. We're not actually saying he needs to take a title fight yet. We're just saying anyone in the top 20. Anyone in the top 20.
I mean, he was about to fight a guy that went 12 rounds with Gavchik. I believe Mahidi Amar. And he pulled out. So I mean, you can't really blame Anthony for because that was going to be a step up, believe it or not. Like, even though that guy was coming up to from 168 against Gavchik, I mean, he gave Gavchik some good work. But man, I think Travis Reaver is a guy who's won 17 in a row. People are overlooking. He's going to be a good test too, and that's why I believe it's going to go to a decision. I don't think Travis Reavis is coming over to get just knocked out. He's talking like he really wants to win.
He said he's going to knock him out. So he said he's going to knock out Anthony Yarde.
So,
I mean,
just because you don't know these, like before Isaac Dalbay fought on Top Rank, we didn't know who the fuck he was, but he showed us something. Like, damn, these guys can come out of nowhere and fucking compete, because boxing at the end of the day is like, hey, if I can hit you better than me, then I'll look better doing it. Don't matter where you come from.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up, where is it, ratings, and I'm gonna go up to light heavyweight.
Yeah,
we're gonna go in there and I'm gonna just see what Travis reads. So no, because I'm gonna help either you or Mike or whatever the narratives. I want to see what Travis Reeves is at, so we can discuss, figure this out. So I'm going to BoxRec, and if you guys don't know, you go to BoxRec, light heavyweight, male, either stance, and then you hit go. And I looked up Travis Reeves, and he is number 31. He's number 31. He's above Anthony Sims Jr., Steven Nelson. So,
and that's on late notice, right?
He's actually above Shawn Monahan, actually, when you look at this BoxRec ranking. So
he's not too far behind Callum Johnson.
I wouldn't mind seeing Anthony Yarde once he gets his title, mix it up with Callum Johnson. I mean,
Buati's 22. Oh,
in the world
22 on this BoxRec thing. Yeah,
22.
They moved that man fast.
And then where they got Anthony Yarde? Anthony Yarde's at 8. So
I've been a fan of Buati for a long time, man. I've been a fan of Buati since his fucking debut.
He don't want you to be a fan anymore, Mike.
Oh, really? Wow, man. See, that's the problem with the UK. You guys always draw lines. As Ron, I've been bigging up Buati for how long, Ron? Since Ron knows
Mike, big Buati and Yarde fan. The day that they clash, if it happens, man, Mike's gonna be really.
What have I said on this podcast over and over again, Ron? These two guys beat every other heavyweight in the world. Once they get on that level, on that championship level, these guys will beat every other light heavyweight in the world, man. Now I might have to change that, because Marcus Brown showed me some shit against Badu Jack. I wasn't expecting that, you know. So I was like, damn, Marcus can fight. So those three guys are going to carry the light heavyweight division.
Hey, yo, shout out to Young Jedi. He said Mike bought the Isaac Dalbay hype, though.
We all did, though. We can't sit here and say what did. And I think obviously gonna come back and shock him, because he's gonna get a rematch with that same guy he just lost to. And when you see Dalbay, damn, I know we're going off subject, but when you see him during that fight week, he was acting a little bit too Hollywood for me. and hopefully he's back grounded. You know what I'm saying? Back grounded and really back hungry and shit. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and move on to this. Daniel Dubois, Cajano.
Yeah, Daniel Dubois came in a
Oh, hold on.
career.
Did we all pick Johnson, right?
Yep.
And we all picked Yarde.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead. Take it away, Con.
Yeah, I was saying Daniel Dubois came in a career heaviest on the scales today.
And y'all talking about he had a 6-pack, nigga. I ain't see it.
He has no six. I don't know who said it. I've never seen no 6-pack.
Who said that shit, man? Fucking somebody said it. Jack, or somebody. Jack somebody said it.
Jack, you can get your ass in the show. But
Somebody
yeah,
got a 6-pack, niggas.
Shout out to Jack. He was actually at the press conference, so he got some interviews. But
I was finna draw that motherfucker on for him. Like, nigga, where at, homie? I don't see it, dog. But yeah, I think Kajanu possibly is going to make it the distance. I think Kajanu in there with Joe Parker went 12 rounds. I seen him in there with Nathan Gorman. I actually won some money on that fight because I bet it to go to distance because I wasn't never impressed with Gorman after 4 rounds. He just tires out. But Daniel Dubois, man, the only thing that scares me about possibly putting money on the distance is Dubois got that one that I'm telling you, man. The motherfucker can touch you and you gonna fall because it hurts. You know what I'm saying?
He has power.
But can't really put his punches together that well. And Kajano got some good movement and he's a old wily vet. So I got Dubois winning, but similar to the Hooker fight, I really don't know how he's gonna win. But
do you think Kajano do you think he's as durable as a Kevin Johnson? Could he be? Because if he can, or if there's a possibility, then that could go the distance, Mike.
Kevin Johnson been in there with some killers. Killers. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
He only person to like knock him out, I believe, is AJ. And I think AJ caught him on like 2 days' notice, but that's neither here nor there. But I just made that up, man. Let me stop that
looking
shit.
like you might be triggered.
Let me stop that shit. Nah, but Kevin Johnson, man, he's proven tough. You know what I'm saying? So there's no fucking pity in going 12 rounds with Kevin Johnson. But Kajano, I don't think he's that kind of journeyman of the level of Kevin Johnson. But I do think that he could give the some rounds.
Let's do a barometer. Okay, he's coming off of 3 losses, right? And those 3 losses include Joseph Parker, right? The referee deducted a point from him in the 4th round due to repeatedly pushing down Parker's head. So he lost that fight decision. Then King Kong Ortiz coming back.
Damn, Wayne, bro.
I've
been watching boxing, bro. I've been doing my research, big homie. You know what I'm saying? Don't think I Google all the time, bro. Some of this shit is off the top of the head. You know what I'm saying? Because it's fresh because I'm new to it, so I don't have all the memories of boxing as you guys do. My memories go back from 2015, so everything is new to me. So that's why I can recall stuff so vividly because I just watched this shit literally.
Man, Mike, you throwing shots, man. You know.
Dubois has said. Oh, sorry, Ron, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying is when you look at his last 3 losses, Joseph Parker distance, Luis Ortiz after the Deontay Wilder loss, he comes and sparks him out in the 2nd round, and then he goes and loses to Nathan Gorman in a 12-round decision. So there's some barometers. Those are 3 guys we all know. In addition to, those are 3 right there off the top. So at that point, he needs to have some sort of performance, aka knock him out, so he can go, look, Joseph Parker didn't do it, Nathan Gorman didn't do it, and if he doesn't in 1, that's better than Ortiz did.
Better than Ortiz, that's true. And to be fair, I think Daniel Dubois has come out and said that he would like to fight. I think it was a bit optimistic, but he said he would like to fight someone along the lines of Chisora this year. I think in order for him to see whether he can, he does need to put on a good performance.
When did he say that shit?
He said it in an interview with BT.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
Yeah, so BT asked him whether he would like to fight the likes of Chisora.
I can see
and
where
he said he would be ready in a couple of months.
I can actually see his mindset of wanting to fight because we all know a fight with Derek Chisora is going to be one thing only, a fucking war is hat. Whatever. So he thinks that he can possibly catch the old guy, but I'm telling you, man, crawl before you walk. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to hop in there with Derek Chisora.
I think Chisora is what you call like a journeyman. Like he can 100% last in there. If it
But a
wasn't for that,
live journeyman though, he's
yeah,
alive in that motherfucker. He ain't like he just rolling over.
because even if you look at the fight that Chisora had with Takam, like he was losing that fight, and then out of nowhere he came with that punch. That fight, he was losing that fight. So yeah, it'll be
Absolutely,
interesting to
absolutely.
see.
Well, yeah,
Give
man. I
me
think that.
Daniel Dubois.
Oh
that
yeah.
Over Chisora?
No. For the speak
No,
now.
I guess over
I already wrote everybody down for Daniel Dubois. But Liam Williams versus Joe Muller. I don't know much about Joe Mullender. I just know Liam Williams had a couple fights with Liam Smith that both first one ended on headbutts and cuts, something like that. The second one, Liam Smith won. Then Liam Williams came back against a guy named Heffron and actually beat him, and he was the underdog. So Liam Williams.
That was a cracking fight.
Yeah, it definitely was all action fight. You know what I'm saying? Very, very surprising that he was able to get him out of there. But Liam Williams, man, I really like. I don't know this guy, and the way the guy was talking during the press conference, he showed zero confidence in himself. Like, I know I'm the underdog. I know I'm coming here for the beat opponent, but I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna give him a cracking fight. I'm not coming here to like roll over, but you kind of put yourself down. You know what I'm saying?
He did put himself down, but I think he had to because I think he came out in a statement and he said something during the week. And he's come out, and I think it annoyed the opponent, and I think he said he denied saying it, or he tried to play it down, the comments that he made over social media. I'm not too sure what he said, but he tried to play it down, and he went the humble route and said, if I win, I won't be able to win on points, but if I win, trying to say he won't win on points, but he doesn't know how he's going to knock him out either. So yeah, it was. I've never really heard someone sound as weak as he did heading into a fight.
Damn, he sounded that bad?
I mean, bro, he put himself down. Like I really didn't like. I didn't like the tone of his voice during the presser. So I'm gonna just go with my guy Williams off GP because I know him. But M did say this guy is a live dog because he has somewhat power. But I just think Williams has more pedigree, so he'll get him.
Tell me about this Johnny Garton and Chris Jenkins fight.
Yeah, everybody been fucking talking about it.
What do you know about this King of Khan?
Is that on? That's on the I think that's one of the first fights. That's Friday UK time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I saw them on the they were on the press conference today. I don't know too much about Johnny Garton. What I do know is that when I've seen one of his fights, he does kind of go to war, or he tries to. He's got quite a few knockouts. So I'm not entirely sure what his approach will be. I think Frank Warren came out and said that the winner of that fight is in line for a big fight, but he's just not sure who that's against. The loser of that fight, they're still trying to work with. That doesn't mean that it's the end for them, but he would like to arrange a big fight for the winner of that fight. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, now let's get to that interesting topic. I got it in my email. I said in my intro. I saw it. I thought, oh, congratulations, Paul. You got another great commentary gig. Then I turned away. I got some Twitter notifications saying Paulie versus Artem possibility, all these crazy things. And then I look back
what
at the
is
email,
Paulie doing, man?
and I'm like, yo, he signed with them to fight.
Bro, but you know what he's doing, right? Though, right?
Yes, I know. He wants the Conor
Thank
McGregor
you.
fight.
And the best way you get McGregor, you go out there and you slap up one of his homeboys. Now, if this was like an MMA fight, I would be concerned for Paulie, but this is a bare knuckle fight, and Paulie is an ex-boxer that knows how to throw his hand and now knows how to not get hit. You know what I'm saying?
So let me help merge the casuals and turn this back to boxing quick.
Now, do bare knuckle do they do hand wraps or like no wraps at all?
So hold on. Let me just tie this in for people who may not even know. So in MMA, you know a guy named Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor used Paulie Malignaggi as a sparring partner for Floyd Mayweather. So later on, there's this MMA guy named Khabib and Conor. You guys may have heard of it, but they fought each other all because of the fact that Khabib slapped one of Conor's friends. That particular friend signed up to do bare knuckle boxing. Granted, the fact he's just doing it on his own terms and his own will. What do you know? Paulie Malignaggi signs up for the same program, and there you go. We know Paulie wants to fight Conor. His friend, Conor's friend, who kind of started the whole war with Khabib and Conor, the real bad blood to the next level. Now Paulie's going for the same person, it seems like, so that he can call out Conor. He's already on Twitter talking about it, and he's inviting him to come to the bare knuckle world. So now to answer your question, Mike, I can't remember. I'm gonna pull up a video if they do put wraps on their hands. I've seen some of it, man.
Now, like, make no mistake, if you guys follow both sports now, Artem is a guy could be slapped up in the corner that actually made the Conor McGregor go to the Barclays Center and like throw the dolly at the bus and all that. So everything led up to that fight. But Artem is like a good friend of Conor, so he's definitely going to be at the fight, and if Paulie goes out there and does what I think he's going to do, because he is the boxer. And
they're not fighting each other, though. Just so you know, they're not fighting.
Oh, they're not fighting each other?
No. That's what. So Artem already had the fight in bare knuckle boxing already set in April. It's just the obvious move of Paulie joining it. I mean, what marketing guy wouldn't size them together? So granted, Paulie is.
Man, we now hold on. We give motherfuckers too much credit now. We promoters out here. I ain't putting motherfuckers together. I'm just saying they don't put everybody in the ring with each other.
But now, so check this out. I got a text. Who texted me? So I guess they do use hand wraps to a degree. So Joseph says they do use hand wraps. I pulled up a video. I seen some of it. But what they do is they wrap like around your arm and like the piece between like your index and your thumb, but all your knuckles and everything is all completely exposed. Like there's nothing protecting it, not a single thread. And at that point, it is exactly what it is bare knuckle boxing, bloodied up knuckles. And my only concern is Paulie Malignaggi, a person who started out his career as a great boxer, damaged his hands very early, which ended up having to change his fighting style. He has very, very brittle hands from what I know from his career. I'm kind of concerned about him joining an all-out bare knuckle program. I mean, just think about like if Floyd Mayweather did a bare knuckle, it's just thinking like, damn, dude, your hands.
How much they paying?
He has to be getting paid to do this shit, man. There's no way.
No, look here, man. I think Paulie probably just bored. You know what I'm saying? I seen a lot of rumors out there. Paulie's broke and all this shit now. Paulie's getting pretty good from Showtime, Sky, and he just was in James McGill's corner. So I don't think it's a money issue. I think Paulie just out there bored and seeing what other avenues he could open and possibly get that big money payday with McGregor, because we all know if these guys have beef, sparring footage, Paulie didn't like the way he was handled when he was a sparring partner for McGregor. So there is a backline story there. So I don't know if it happens in bare knuckle boxing, the McGregor fight, which it should be a boxing match so they can make the most money possible. But a fight with Conor's friend should be definitely on the horizon if you're signing with bare knuckle boxing.
You know what's really interesting about this bare knuckle boxing? There is some strategy with it that's different from boxing. Obviously, you got the same strategic movement stuff, but the glove sizes aren't there. How you use your hands, like think about it. The gloves were, I think, initially made so that you wouldn't damage your hands and that you can continue to punch more and more and more and protect the fighter. In this case, you can't be doing like long rounds of consistent punching. So there is, I think, different type of strategies that come evolved with this sport. I'm not an expert in it. I don't know all the little tidbits. But from looking at it from the times I have to the sport of boxing, there is differences. And what you also see is a lot more blood and knockouts.
All right. Well, I'm be very intrigued to see where this goes and what Paulie does with this bare knuckle boxing shit.
Fucking jab.
But we got some real quick notes, then we're gonna get up out of here. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson announced that they will. Top Rank announced that they will be fighting on the Crawford Khan undercard. I know that my guy Shakur is fighting Christopher Diaz, and I forget the guy Teofimo's fighting. I forget the guy's name, but Bob thinks that this Christopher Diaz is a real tough challenge for Shakur Stevenson, and it might prove to be. But I think I expect him to go out there and handle business, and being on this platform with ESPN under such a big card, I think that the spotlight's there for him, and I think he's gonna rise to the occasion. You guys got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, look, the prospects, Shakur and Teofimo Lopez, are set for success. All they have to do is just win. They put the opponents there for them.
Should we stop calling these guys prospects? Should we start calling them like fringe contenders now?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean,
Yeah.
especially after this fight that these guys are taking, especially Shakur, man. Christopher Diaz, I think is a big step up.
When I hear Teofimo Lopez talk too, so I think it was an interview that he did with Max Kellerman. He doesn't sound like he considers himself a prospect. Like he doesn't think he is. He doesn't sound very he doesn't seem to respect many of his peers in his division either, but he seems like he doesn't consider himself a prospect. He believes he has something others don't have. He believes he's going all the way. So yeah, maybe calling him a prospect might not be the right thing. I don't know in terms of them, because if they don't describe themselves as a prospect, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about title shot. So, I mean, yeah, you can probably give him contender status, especially after this next fight, especially Shakur, in my honest opinion. So, big ups to these guys. Obviously, we'll have coverage there. I'll be at the fight. So, see your boy Terrence Crawford.
You about to fight, huh? You just trying to rub it in, you motherfucker.
Wait. I get to see Terrence Crawford. Right?
Yeah, you can see him live, man. Not that boy Con out.
I'm just joking.
But yeah, we had an interview today with Brian Custer where we broke a little bit of news. Jared Hurd and Gary Russell will be back in April on the same card. So we look forward to that. I forget, where did you say that card was going to be at, Ron?
And my assumption when we talked to Hurd wanted to do a hometown fight, so it might be back.
And Gary Russell on the card, so it makes sense to do it in the DC Baltimore area. Huh?
See, there you go.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to see her back in the ring. Last time we seen him was on the Wilder undercard, so about that time for her to get it back rocking. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the premier stars in the sport, in my opinion. I think he's a very remarkable guy, very, very likable guy. Just needs that push, man. I think when he decides to move up to 160, a lot more people will start taking notice of him. Can you imagine a Hurd and Canelo fight? That would be a fucking that would be exciting, man. That would be definitely a exciting fight. But you guys got any thoughts on that before we move on?
Gary Russell fight 2 times at least this year, and make one of them Leo Santa Cruz if it's only once.
Yeah, Gary Russell, we definitely want to see you back in the ring at least twice this year, man. You're one of the best talents in the sport, so why deprive the fans of great nonstop action in a fight with you and Leo, or even you and can you imagine a fucking Gary Russell and Josh Warren to fight?
But it probably won't happen. You know.
I know it probably won't happen, man. But talk about some action. Good grief. But Frank Warren, man, he works with everybody now, so it's not like he's not willing to work with people.
We should see after that Fury and PBC relationship.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna pass this one to Akon. Dillian Whyte. We all heard the rumors this week, possible signing with ESPN. Give you a little final synopsis on that.
So yeah, Dillian Whyte. So we had Dean Whyte. He likes to be known as Dean Whyte on the show. He called in too, and he like Mike referred to him as a politician. He did answer in a very political way, but it seems like that's definitely happening. Eddie Hearn was also interviewed. I'm not entirely sure who it was that interviewed him, but asked him briefly about Whyte. He said him and Whyte had spoken about ESPN. He'd be disappointed if he left, but he would wish him the best. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens and what's announced over the next couple of days. Especially with his brother saying that the July 13th date, which was spoken about by Dillian Whyte and by Eddie Hearn, can't really be confirmed right now. So yeah, let's see what happens with that. Another big shake up in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, and then Eddie Hearn talked to my guys about AV News and mentioned that
was the one.
You know, like, hey, you know, we try to work with Dillian Whyte. You talked to him this morning. Granted, obviously nothing's official yet, but then in the interview, it looked like he kind of like accepted, like if that was the path that would happen, it would be like, it's okay. Just by reading his body. I can be completely wrong because I didn't even expect Dillian Whyte to go to ESPN, so anything can happen. But we'll get more news. Eddie Hearn didn't really know much about it, and minus that phone call he talked to, and that was a couple days. I think that was yesterday or so. So we'll see. I mean, we just also had Dean Whyte on the show, and he was being very, very, how would you say, very political with his answers. He didn't want to give anything out for the right reasons, but it definitely shows that Dillian Whyte's probably gonna go somewhere. We'll hear about it.
Real quick, Earl Spence says he wants to stop Mikey Garcia. Jaime Munguia versus Dennis Hogan has been announced for April 13th
Hey,
down in.
real quick on that. Cordell Booker was supposed to get that fight, I guess I heard. And Golden Boy reached out to him, and he wasn't able to get the fight because Dennis Hogan, I guess, activated his mandatory or something. So keep your head up, Cordell. Obviously, prospects and contenders are always climbing up the rankings, so keep doing your thing. Maybe we'll get that Jaime Munguia fight.
And Jaime Munguia versus Dennis Hogan is April 13th down in Monterrey, Mexico. So Jaime will have a home country fight. So big ups to him. Keith Thurman will be a part of the Fox telecast for Porter versus Ugas. Do we expect to see Keith Thurman possibly hop in the ring, or do we expect him to see him fall back in the studio and just talk? You know what I'm saying? Say that he wanted his belt back, or will there be some confrontation between him and Porter?
He should get his ass in the ring. You know what I mean? He's obviously the person who's been talking the most, about Shawn Porter, about how this is not belt and all that stuff. And I think that, the first time they had their little face off to set up their fight, they got in each other's ring. Earl got into Shawn Porter's ring. All these guys get in each other's rings. My whole thing is, if you get in the ring, please make the fight happen. So if Keith Thurman does get in the ring, maybe get to that fight and not like 2-3 tune-ups. But I do understand if he does need a tune-up because he did not look good against Josecito Lopez at all. So
yeah, I don't know if Keith's gonna activate that Amir status just yet. Probably gonna definitely need another tune-up. But in another report I seen, Porter said if he's victorious against Ugas, he's definitely going to be front row at the Mikey Garcia fight, and he's definitely going to try to get in the ring and confront the winner and try to do a unification. He said he had his eye on Earl Spence for about a year and a half now, so he wants that fight.
Yeah, if Thurman don't get in there, then Shawn Porter and the winner Mikey and Spence, which seems to be Spence, would be the logical fight. So Keith can just chase after that Manny Pacquiao fight. Or
is there a world where we can see a Ugas versus Garcia for a unification fight?
Is there a world to see Ugas and Mikey?
Is there a world that we can visualize Ugas versus Mikey Garcia for a unification fight?
I can see Ugas fighting Spence.
Okay, I'm just asking.
But it's boxing. Anything can happen, obviously. So it's just they're just one fight away each for that possibility. Obviously, I think that Ugas and Shawn Porter is a very competitive fight, and I think there's a dark horse against Shawn Porter in this fight. So my only thing is that Keith Thurman is probably not going to want to take these fights if he can get Manny Pacquiao. Adrian Broner's been out there. They've been kind of having this little beef, low key. But Shawn Porter seems more and more interested in that Errol Spence fight this week. So that's a very good sign to see that if he gets past Ugas, that if he calls out maybe an Errol Spence or calls Keith Thurman's bluff, then Shawn will be in a good public eye in front of the people.
Absolutely. Now we have a fight that has been announced: Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados. Tops the A triple hitter that will be held April 20th in Carson, California. Now the venue is formerly known as the StubHub Center. They changed the name of it. I seen it, but I didn't want to write it down because I feel like the StubHub Center should at least live on one more fight. So I'm gonna call it the StubHub Center. And yeah, man, Granados Garcia. Another kind of showcase fight, but we'll see. On paper, it looks that way, but we all know Granados is in tough fights. And the last little thing on the docket, Deontay Wilder thinks Jarrell Miller has a good chance of beating AJ and even stopping him.
There you go.
I've been saying this, man. I've been saying this, bro. People laughed at me. They laughed at me when I said it, but the champ has said it. The champ of the world has said it.
Deontay Wilder said he was going to beat Tyson Fury too. So I don't know if
mean, by all accounts and purposes, I think, you know what I'm saying. We had Virgil Hunter on. They a well respected champ. I mean, well respected trainer. Well respected.
He's going to freeze out AJ, who now has a fight announced when Deontay Wilder hasn't. So I don't know. I wouldn't really take.
He got a date announced. You know what I'm saying? He got a date May 18th. You know what I'm saying? Don't come with that hate. You can't hate strong, big dog. I wouldn't
really take Deontay Wilder's word for certain things.
Well, take Big Baby word for it then. Big Baby said he's gonna stop him in round 7.
You gonna put money on that, Mike?
I mean, possibility.
Hell no, you're not.
Possibility. Hey, I'm telling you, look here. You guys laugh at Big Baby, bro. You guys laugh at Big Baby.
Wait, what's the bet?
What bet?
What was the bet you were giving him, Con?
You ain't giving the best. Nigga putting like money on like the fucking bet. I'm not betting the Con straight. I'm putting money on the bet line.
Mike Coppin just tweet.
I don't know, bro.
No,
we
you were challenging Mike on something. Don't tell me you just forgot. Is it?
I said, are you going to put money on Miller taking Joshua out in the 7th round?
Oh, okay. Are you going to put money on that? Are you going to parlay that, Mike? You're going to money line that, Mike?
Bro, I don't know what the hell you talking about, Ron. I'm Mike, just saying, look here.
Are you going to put money on Miller? Are you going to put money on...
putting no money on Miller?
Questions or what? You gonna let Mike speak? Check this out. If Big Baby Miller has the endurance, which we all know we have, because we're saying this big guy, go at it, you know what I'm saying? He's going to put the pressure on AJ. We seen Povetkin put the pressure on AJ. We seen Tackam put the pressure and make AJ uncomfortable. And I'm telling you, man, Big Baby is a more busier fighter, better boxing, in my opinion, than both those guys. And his power can translate. I know we haven't seen Big Baby or dab Big Baby as a power puncher, but he's 300 pounds, man. Anytime a 300-pound guy hits you, it's gonna hurt. And if AJ cannot stop this man from coming forward and keep him off AJ, we all seen AJ have what problems?
Mike, can I just ask you a question?
I'm gonna give you your time. Give me like 30 more seconds. We all seen AJ have stand-up problems in the past, and that's one of his Achilles heel. And we all know Big Baby applies the pressure, man. So that's like and vinegar. That shit ain't gonna mix him. It's gonna make for an exciting fight. I would not be surprised if AJ sparks Big Baby out first round. But I would not be surprised if Big Baby takes AJ some places he does not want to go.
Big Baby AJ to any place he doesn't want to go, because Big Baby is not a tougher fight than anything AJ has faced before. Like, AJ has been through, guys. Mike, he's knocked a 10-year reigning champion out.
You got everything on the line.
People suddenly, I remember, Mike, you were yawning before when I think I saw you yawn when this fight was initially rumored to be announced. You're like, oh, we don't want to see that. Suddenly, Big Baby's a threat. Suddenly, he's a threat. Well, I think Dominic Breazeale is going to knock Wilder out in the first 3 rounds. Well, he's not, because Dominic Breazeale is actually AJ's leftovers. He already dealt with that. He done that. That's out of the way. We'll give that to Wilder. That can be his mandatory. Yeah, you fight him. Don't fight Dillian Whyte though, because you're scared he might beat you. Take the leftovers. Take Dominic Breazeale. What has AJ done to loudmouth Americans? He's faced 2 of them, and guess what? They've never been the same.
So you're gonna take that, Mike?
Take it. He said nobody's been like, but he hasn't fought the champion. Like, he hasn't unified the belts with the champion. He got a vacant belt. He fought Parker, who came to Alabama and saw Wilder knock out Gerald Washington and say, I really don't want that one. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's on the night, man. When Big Baby shows up and AJ shows up, we're going to see who the better man is. You know what I'm saying? They're always upset in sports. This could be another potential upset that everybody's overlooking. Ron, do you have any final thoughts about that while I pull up these super chats?
While you're pulling up the super chats, we'll see, man. That fight's going to go down June 1st. I think that AJ's rightfully so the favorite, but the heavyweight division is always exciting. I would probably go with AJ. But with that being said, didn't someone tell us that they sent us a betting slip. I can't remember the person's name. He put $21,000 on Mikey Garcia.
Mike, wasn't it you that posted that?
Who was the dude that messaged us?
Mike, I'm so sure it was Mike.
No, I know, but I'm trying to think who was the person though. Like someone contacted us and said, "Yo, you guys are scared," and he showed he had a $21,000 betting slip. Mike's like, I don't believe it. And then at that point, he's like, all right, you know what? Put your middle finger up in the picture to show it's you. And
Yeah,
he sure enough did it. So 21 fucking thousands on Mikey Garcia to beat Errol Spence. I think the winnings is like he gets $100,000 or something.
$128,000. Yeah, man. Some guy hit us up on IG and said, "Man, you guys not putting any respect on Mikey Garcia, man." And I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. Hit me with a screenshot, $21,000.
Is that just the win, Mike? Is that bet for?
That's how much he put down.
He put down like 21 savage, 21, 21, 2100.
At the time, he got the odds at plus 390.
Oh wow, okay. And that's just the win, right? So it's not specific. So it's not.
That's just money line, like just to win.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and then I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Back, bro. Put your middle finger up by that motherfucker.
It's just like when you don't believe someone, like it's a catfish or something. Like, hey, write my name on a paper or some shit, or like, hey, you know, like the people like, oh, that's not your car, man. Take a picture with you in that, you know, sitting on that car. Like Mike was like, I'm calling your bluff, and sure enough, Mike, what happened?
Sure enough, man, hit me up, and I was like, this shit is authentic. And Ness said, that ain't real. You know how Ness gonna hate anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if goddamn Jesus tells him it's real. He ain't gonna believe it. But yeah, man, guy had some big nuts, man. But could just gave me that 21,000, and I would have told him that I betted it for him.
Well, I'm concerned for dude, man. If he just putting $21,000 on,
like I told y'all in the chat, if he putting 21,000 down, it ain't hurting. You know what I'm saying? It ain't hurting him at all.
It ain't hurting me, at least. It ain't my money.
Well, yeah, man, that's it, dog.
You got them super chats? Any
oh yeah, super chats. I ain't got. I'm so used to fucking beat on this shit. Ronald Finkley, AJ can beat Miller by outworking him. Too bad AJ resume is trash.
What type of laugh is that?
I know, right? It was like kind of like a evil laugh. We got one from Joseph Rodriguez Garcia. Report. Irie says Paulie versus Autumn in June. Yeah, Ron. Don't tell me I'm wrong. He fighting Autumn in June. He going after McGregor, boy. If you want the man, you got to go through his motherfucking homeboy. Make his bitch ass come out.
We'll see, man. Autumn got to fight in April on that bare knuckle shit.
It's a tune-up. You know what I'm saying? He got to get his hands right for Paulie. You know what I'm saying?
Paulie get his hands right broken before he goes fight Paulie. Fucking bare knuckle.
Yeah, probably so. You probably come in right near, man.
Wayne in the chat is just reminding you, asking you if you've seen Wilder's resume, because you just laughed at AJ. So he's just asking if you've seen Wilder.
Wayne, we have a guy who never calls in. Call into the show, Wayne. Call in. How about that?
Yo, honestly, I would love for Wayne to call for real. Like some of the people in the chat. You guys
Wayne can't call, man. He can't afford a fucking phone. He's poor. He probably like lives in like some hole in the ground, some shit somewhere.
I want that prime time something.
I'll see you at MSG. Nigga, you ain't gonna be on MSG, bro. You can't. What you gonna be outside like playing music, some shit like that? You gonna have like a little quarter can for you or something like that? What's going on, Wayne? Come on, man,
hey, definitely say what up to me, man. I'll be at that fight.
But yeah, man, you guys want to give out your social media final thoughts? You know what I'm saying on the weekend?
Yo, you can find me at Ron G FIQ. Appreciate you guys coming on these interesting Thursdays when we don't have the big man Ness. Obviously, we're gonna start trying to work on how we can get the calls and stuff set up.
Hey man, let's go and put it on the table, man. Truth be told, Ness went to go see Captain Marvel tonight. He didn't think the show was important enough for y'all, so he went to go see Captain Marvel.
That's exactly what he did. Yo, actually, you know who did duck the show? Javi ducked the show.
Speaking of duck,
Javi's a duck.
Javi.
Don't forget, we have to call Jack a duck too. Jack the Truth no longer Jack the Truth. He's just Jack. He's about to be Akin, so he's very close to going from Jack back to Akin. Jack is a duck too.
Yo, I'm saying, Javi had an opportunity. He always talk about he want to be on the show. The parents left.
Mike, if I call, you'll talk over me.
We
Dwayne, soft that.
The parents left the crib. You're like, yo, you can come over. Man, you know I got shit to do. I gotta go watch Cat Marvel. Like it won't be there tomorrow. So we wanted you. You said you were the people's champ, man. I don't see you here, man. So
I'm telling y'all trying to win some money tomorrow, man. Go ahead and sign up to Patreon. $3, you know what I'm saying? Cost you $3 a month. Like if we can get 147 people to sign up to Patreon for $3, y'all can experience some of the shit that we go through, some of like the behind the scene things. I'm telling you guys will probably really fuck with us. And also, May 31st is going down. Clear your goddamn calendars, clear your schedules. TBV will be in the motherfucking rooftop in Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? Where the rich people be at. You know what I'm saying? Manhattan. You know, don't know poor people live in Manhattan, so Wayne would not be there. Definitely clear all the calendars, man. We're gonna have a nice appreciation night. We're gonna have past and current champions come through. Might even have Big Baby come through. Who knows? Might put some motherfucking turntables together. Call up AJ. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, come a demi freestyle for me. You know what I'm saying? I know him as Anthony Johnson. You know what I'm saying? He called me the other day and said, Mike, the whole Anthony Johnson thing is cool with me. Run with it. I'm fine with it. It is what it is. If Reggie Miller, a Hall of Famer, could call me Anthony Johnson, you can too. I said, okay, no problem, Anthony Johnson. So from now on, we can refer to AJ as Anthony Johnson, man. He has no problem with it.
Mike, you're gonna have to really suck up to AJ once he beats your boy. You know, I mean, you're gonna really have to do some type of work to get him to acknowledge you once he beats your boy. Guarantee you he'll be calling in. Once he knocks Wilder out, he'll call into the show. He's just waiting on that so he can say, okay, well, all that smoke you've been talking, Mike, all that smoke, tell me where's Wilder now? Where's Wilder now? And you'll say, oh, he'll get you in the rematch.
I swear to God, if a Khan ripped his shirt right now, nigga, you'll see a big ass shield with an agent on that motherfucker. Here to protect and defend his honor, we have taken the oath. Our King AJ, we will uphold him against all threats, foreign and domestic. No matter America, China, Japan, we're coming for him. AJ, our King.
Mike, they're saying boo.
We got some chat. You know what I'm saying? I know, right? It's an AJ prayer. We got one from Kelly Thompson. Shout out to TBV, the best boxing podcast out there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we are. But yeah, man, my final thoughts are Shawn Porter Ugas to just bring it all the way back around. Gonna be a tough fight, man. This weekend it seems like we got a lot of 50-50 fights and a lot of action, you know what I'm saying? Big ups to Anthony Yarde, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna be back in action. Big ups to Bivol, be back in action. Big ups to Mighty Mo, Maurice Hooker, who's going under the radar, who's always in an exciting fight. So yep, follow me on IG at Gross1911 and on Twitter at Gross2312. And please believe everything that I said earlier. It's all banter. Don't take anything personal. We just have fun, and we try to be a little different podcast than all these uptight ass boxing only podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
Khan, your final thoughts? You do yours?
Yeah, it's been a good one, guys. It's now nearly 2:30 in the morning in the UK, but the boxing voice always makes it worth it. Nez has been calling me out saying I don't come on these shows, so now you can stop that too. Yeah, it's been a good one, guys. I'm looking forward to all the fights happening on the weekend. I must say the US are putting on some great fights in general. Like the UK, for some reason the cards haven't been that good yet this year, but let's hope they get a bit better.
Hey, real quick, man, on the way out, man, big ups to Jimmy J, what's going on? Wayne, big ups to you, man. The Young Jedi, Jake Clearly, Primetime Fugitive, big ups to you. Kristen Padilla, Jay Clearly, ESW. Kenna Biff for men. I don't know what the fuck that is. Harry Well 46, big ups to you, man. Jack is the truth. Oh, Jack, you up? You up in the chat, but you can't be on board. Man, you pussy. Big ups to Augusta Bird. Big ups to that's about it, man. Walter Robinson, Elio, Bob Smitty. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to everybody, man, that join in tonight, man. We do appreciate it.
Yo, hold on. Jack says, "Yo, I'm taking back my props. I'll see you tomorrow." I can't. Oh, okay.
Jack ain't gonna be on here tomorrow. He's gonna be too busy being early at the Royal Albert Hall to watch Yarde fight. He's gonna be standing outside for like hours trying to wait so he can get a picture with Yarde. Jack ain't coming here. You don't want that smoke.
But on the real talk,
Big
shout
up
out to
Kelly
Jack.
Thompson too.
Shout out to Jack though. He'll have some footage hopefully up if you guys haven't seen it. Also, shout out to my boy Jay Hardcore. He has a whole bunch of footage of Lamont Peterson and in his media workout and stuff like that. So we need an LA correspondent I keep saying this. Look, if you're in the West Coast area, you want to cover some boxing, you want to be Team TBV, go to some gyms, meet some of your favorite boxers, trainers, promoters. You want to ask them questions. You feel like some guys we ain't doing it right, or some other people ain't right. Here's your chance. Hit us up, LA correspondent. Go there, ask the questions for us. Be part of the history, man. Make the fights happen.
Big ups Doomy who come in at the last 30 seconds, and big ups to UK Boxing Shepherd, man. And on that note, we out
Mike,
this bitch.
Mike, do you know who UK Boxing Shepherd is?
Eddie Hearn?
No.
No, that's serious. You know who it is?
Do you actually know who it is?
Yeah, Eddie Hearn, right?
No, I'm being serious. Do you know who it is?
Why the fuck I can't stop the fucking broadcast? I'm trying to get like a great send off, but I can't. But yeah, man, no, I don't know who it is. Nigga, who is it?
Me.
That's you?
Yes.
That's him right there, y'all. Y'all see him. That is a con. Get him on camera, nigga. Laugh again. So we can see you. I'll put you on camera, nigga, the hard way, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
Yo, this nigga Mike is, look at this dude. Mike's no chill.
Present to everybody, nigga. There you
No
go.
chill. Look at
Y'all
that.
see him, big dog?
Yo, boy, it's
Look
all
at
good.
the man. He the man, y'all.
What do you call
The man right here. That's y'all king.
It's 2:30. Yeah.
Product. Look at him. Yeah, man.
Product placement.
The
Shout
water.
out.
He got the water bottle for the
Yo, O'Hara Davis in the building. We got O'Hara.
Big ups of Condo, man. I appreciate you, bro, for joining the show, man. We know it's late. Thank you, man, for staying up, bro.
Appreciate it, guys. Anytime.
All right, well, on that note, he's out of here, y'all. Peace out.